Hello, welcome to Findwhosabi News, where we give you a rundown and a recap of the stories that have happened during the week. You know how we go, whatever it is, politics or entertainment, crime, sport, whatever it is, I'm here and I have got you covered. Let's move on to the stories for the week. We start with politics. Akinyemi warns Tinubu on Chinese $4 million loan. The former Foreign Affairs Minister Bolaji Akinyemi has urged President Tinubu not to go further in collecting any loan from the Chinese government. I hope that works. I hope he understands that. Let's move on to another story, which says Nigeria rejects exploitation in China relations, focuses on exporting finished products. If you need to know more of that story, you can go on to our website. Let's move on to another story, which says DSS grants bail to NLC President Joe Ajaero after arrest. He was just going on a trip and he was arrested. So the NLC members ordered that he should be granted bail immediately. Let's move on to another story. This one says APC says Tinubu has failed Nigerians. I mean, if we could get this statement from a ruling party in which President Tinubu belongs, then I don't know what anybody has to say about that. But if you want to get more on the story, you can log on to our website. Let's move on. NNPC impersonator faces fraud charges in Kaduna. Number one question is, why will someone impersonate a big body of the country? Whatever law he's facing, he deserves it. Let's move on to another story. This story says, Afenifere says we are back to the days of Abacha. What happened in the days of Abacha? I guess it was a military rule. Are we actually going into the military regime? Are we going to the stringent regime where we had in the Abacha regime? Who knows? You can log on to our website when you click. You can also follow us on our social media handles: Instagram, Facebook, X, on Findwhosabi, also TikTok as well. You can also subscribe to our channel at Findwhosabi. Share, like, and subscribe. Do not forget that. And of course, our website www.findwhosabiblog.com. Let's go on a short break and we will be right back. Welcome back to Findwhosabi News, where we always give you a rundown and a recap of the stories that have happened during the week. Whatever category or genre of news that you need, I've got you covered. This is just the headlines, and you can move on to the details when you click on the website, on the blog. Let's move on to entertainment. Simi celebrates 7th anniversary of iconic Simisola album. Congratulations to Simisola on her album. I hope you get to produce more music and more songs for us to groove into. You know how we love you. Next up, Hollywood legend James Earl Jones dies at 93. We remember how this man, this iconic legend, has shaped our childhood. I mean, who remembers The Lion King, Mufasa? He was the voice behind Mufasa and every other series that you get to watch. He has inspired a whole lot of people, even in the acting industry. I mean, a voiceover artistry, in the acting firm generally, and we really sympathize with his family and friends as he moves to the great beyond. Let's move on to another story. It says, Seun Kuti urges Nigerians to move beyond protest for a real change. What is this real change we are supposed to adapt, and what real change is Seun Kuti telling us to do? You can get more stories on that when you move on to the blog. On a lighter note, Paul Okoye and wife Ifoma welcome their first child together. Congratulations on building a new family to the Okoyes. We celebrate you. Let's move on to another story. 55-year-old woman dies while giving testimony in Lagos church. How embarrassing though. But why did she die? What was the reason for it? You can get more on that story when you log on to our website. Let's go into sports. Mikel Obi says Chelsea will be back for Osimhen and I will make it happen. That was a decree from Mikel Obi and I hope he really makes it happen. Let's move on to another story. This one says Deco clarifies why Barca signed Omo over Nico Williams. You get more story on that when you log on to our website. Let's move on to health story. This says yeast infection, causes and prevention. You know, the yeast infection, aside children and the male counterpart, it is majorly found in the female, especially the vaginal yeast infection. So, I mean, as a lady, you wouldn't want to be feeling very embarrassed trying to eat yourself in a very, weird way in public. You want to feel classy and all. You don't want to, make yourself feel embarrassed. Let's look at how you can prevent this. But first, we want to know the causes of it and how you can prevent it. Well, what are the causes of this yeast infection? Antibiotics. When you take a lot of antibiotics, especially the one you self-medicate, you just say, oh, okay, this can work because you are feeling somehow down there. It is not hygienic at all. You could go on to the doctor for a better prescription. Yeah. Hormonal changes. Of course, we all have different bodies and how our body systems react. So just be careful to observe your hormonal changes, and this is just better that you go to the doctor to get maybe a prescription or just a checkup, basically, to know what exactly is really wrong with you. Another one says weak immune system. Your system could be weak. You could maybe you lack some vitamins that you need to take, that your body really needs. That is why you're having these causes. But yeah, let's just move on to the symptoms, just in case you are feeling somehow and you don't really know if it is actually a yeast infection. This is how you can know it is a yeast infection. When you are having itching and irritation in the affected area, a thick white discharge, that is how you get to know that you have a yeast infection, redness and swelling around the affected area, and also pain and discomfort. How can you prevent this yeast infection? Keep the area clean and dry. Wear breathable clothing, especially cotton. Cotton will be very appropriate for that. Avoid unnecessary antibiotics. Just like I said, do not self-medicate. Make sure you go to the doctor for the right prescription. You can get more of these preventions when you go on to the blog. Just go and type out health related matters on Findwhosabi blog and you get more on that. Okay, this is where we draw the curtains to a close. This is where we bring the stories to a close. I hope you have learned something new today, right? Okay, so do not forget to log on to our website for more details on the stories and even more stories to come. Also follow us on our social media handles at Findwhosabi on X, on Instagram, on Facebook and TikTok as well. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Findwhosabi. You can get a whole lot of things over there. All right, my name is Toby Rotimi and I'll be signing out for now. Bye.